everybody. Happy Thursday. Here is day 2 of lesson 4. And hopefully if you're having trouble with anything, you're emailing me your questions because we are going to have a quiz tomorrow. I'm going to be putting it up on Quizzes, and there's a link and you will click on that. You will type in the code for join my quiz and you will be doing your log quiz on that Quizzes platform. I will give you enough time for each problem so you can always have pen and paper, which is what you should do, and you should write out each problem and then submit your answer. So again, here we're going to do more of the number E in natural logs. This one now is Mrs. Carr's worksheet. This is not mine. And we're just going to go through it again, just so that hopefully things will click. And you'll find today maybe the work a whole lot easier than you found yesterday's work. So let's start. First, you have to know that E is a number, and E and ln, the natural log, they're inverses of one another. We went over the calculator yesterday, but if you use your calculator right now and you work along with me, and we want to find number 1, the natural log of 1. So go ahead, type that in on your calculator. You should get 0. And number 2, if you type in the natural log of E, now again, remember, this is going to give you an exponent. You must, if I want E, you got to put in a 1. And this is going to cancel, and you're going to get 1 for an answer. So that exponent comes, these guys cancel because they're inverses. Now number 3, when you type in the natural log of 12, close the parenthesis before you hit divide by 4 on the calculator, and you should be getting 0.621227. And this last one, number 4, looks like a little bit of a challenge. It's E raised up to the 2 natural log of 3. So here you're just going to have to be really careful with your calculator. So I am actually going to work the calculator in the video. So again, I hope you can all read that. I'm going to hit second natural log. So here's my E. And in my exponent, I have 2 times the natural log of 3, and you have to close the parenthesis on the 3. And then cursor out, hit enter, and you get 9. This equaled 9. So hopefully you were able to do that right along with me. Now when you get to the next step, we're asking you to use, again, everything you know about E and natural log of E being inverses, and even using maybe the power rule. So let's take a look at number 5 now on this classwork. Number 5 says E to the x is equal to 8. All right, I got to get that variable out of the exponent. So here we are, natural log of E to the x is equal to the natural log of 8, just like yesterday. Power rule is going to take this exponent down in front. X times the natural log of E is equal to the natural log of 8. Natural log and E are inverses. They cancel. So X is simply the natural log of 8. And it says we can leave it in this form. So natural log of 8. There you go. All done. So it was all about the power rule. Number 6. Here's another one that has E to the 5th is equal to x. And they want us to write this in log form. So if I write this in log form, I put a natural log on E to the 5th, and I can put a natural log on x. Power rule brings the 5 down in front. 5 times the natural log of E equals the natural log of x. And these guys cancel, so 5 is equal to the natural log of x. And that was what they wanted you to do. They just wanted a conversion. Now, the next part, we want to write each logarithmic equation as an exponent, so we want to flip it around. So let's take a look at number 7. Number 7 is natural log of x is equal to 0.7741. And if I want to put this into exponent form, this is what we were doing yesterday. Natural log is a log base e of x. And so now we are going to keep the base. We are going to flip the exponent and the power.
What I want you to do is suck a breath deep, deep in and hold it for 20 seconds.
And that's what you get, e to the 0.7741. Number 8, we have natural log of 10 is equal to x. I'm sorry, yes, equal to x. And so again, natural log is the same as the log base e of 10 is equal to x. So I get 10 is equal to e to the x. And now that is number 8. Now when you look at the next page, we have our log rules. We have our product rule, our quotient rule, our power rule, and the radical rule. So 9 through 11, they just want us to use our rules. So let's take a look at those and see how we do with that. So while I'm erasing, read over and refresh your memory on the log rules, which was all about lesson 3. So if I have number 9, now we're going to use our log laws or log rules. Number 9 says 3 natural log of 10 minus the natural log of 8. Both of these have the same natural log. So if I factor out the natural log, this 3 goes back to being an exponent. This is the quotient rule. And that would be divided by 8. And if I were to type in 10 to the 3rd on my calculator, I get 1,000 divided by 8. And 1,000 divided by 8 is the same as the natural log of 125. So here would have been my answer using my log laws. Let's take a look at number 10. Number 10 has natural log of 40 plus 2 natural log of 1/2 plus natural log of x. Well, they all have the same natural log again. So I'm going to pull out the natural log in front, and I have 40. This is the product rule, which means I'm going to multiply. This is going to go back up to the exponent because it's the power rule. So now I have multiplied by 1/2 squared, and then here's the product again, and then multiplied by x. So let's work this out. Natural log of 40 times 1/4, because 1/2 squared is 1/4, times x. This gives me the natural log of 10x. Number 11 is a little bit longer. It has a 1/2, which is going to actually end up with giving me a radical. Let's take a look at number 11. Number 11 has 1/2, and then a big bracket, and then a parenthesis, 4 natural log of A plus natural log of B, close the parenthesis, minus 4 natural log of C. So if I want to pull all these natural logs out of all these parentheses and brackets, This 1/2 is the power. This is going to become the exponent up here, power rule. Now, in here, I have another power rule going on with the product. So this gives me a to the 4th times b quotient. I'm going to be dividing this, so I'm going to put a parenthesis on this, by, here's the power. So that gives me c to the 4th. So if I clean this up, this is now the natural log of the square root of a to the 4th b over c to the 4th power. So that was number 11. So that was, took a little bit of time. And finally, number 14, it's a plug-in. They're giving you function notation. They're telling you on number 14, I'm actually just going to use a different color because this one's a plug-in. Number 14, we're skipping 12 and 13 because they're too hard and no sense in doing those. If I have f of x is equal to 1.6 e to the 0.25x, and they want me to find f of 14, that means I have 1.6 times e to the 0.25 times 14. So just type that straight in on your calculator and you get 52.985. All right, so that's our lesson. Now, what I want you to do, please, at this point, is the next page is your assignment. It's worksheet 8.4, and I want you to do 1 through 10. So that's your homework, and good luck. Email me if you have any questions. Thank you.